Hey, welcome to Training with Kayce, and I'm your host, Kayce Cover. Today we are going to talk about the 13 uses of the intermediate bridge. Intermediate bridge, such a great, powerful tool. Nobody that I know that knows how to use it has ever dropped it. But there are a lot of people that don't even want to try it. They don't want to try it because they don't want to look silly saying good, 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 or ki, 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 etc. Now, the intermediate bridge is complex. There's so much more to talk about it, but right now we're just going to talk about 13 uses. So, just to whet your appetite, most trainers work long and hard on recalls. But the very first thing I teach an animal is a recall. And I don't care where we teach them, where we encounter them. We'll go from a target right in front of their nose to a target 50 feet away in less than a minute. And we have really put this to the test. Really put it to the test. But if that's not enough for you, here are it's a guide. This podcast is a guide to 13 uses of the intermediate bridge. Besides just marking the behavior, we can say nuances on marking the behavior. So the IB is one of the most useful tools in training, and it's a hallmark of SATs. I developed it in 1990. You can find that information other places. The terminal bridge signals an animal that it has successfully completed a requested or cued behavior. It conveys, you did it right. But in addition, we want to mark and reinforce the work on the way to final success. We want to mark and acknowledge the progress towards success. This practice helps the animal push through inexperience, withstand uncertainty and doubt, and achieve success. We support the progress towards success using the IB, also known as the support signal. The IB is a continuous sound that tells the animal you're on track for success. It creates a supportive conversation with the animal in real time as the animal progresses towards success, instead of just marking the finish line, which may not ever happen. Things occur during training, other animals can interfere. The animal can do everything right and be trying to finish the behavior and not able to do it through no fault of its own. And with most trainers, it gets nothing. The intermediate bridge is well, it sounds like this. Okay. And it marks approximately every eighth of a second. So it's faster and more precise than a clicker, which marks about a third of a second. In addition, the sound can be varied in useful ways. We can modulate the tone, the frequency, the speed, the pitch. It can be good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. And emphasis, as we do when we anchor behavior. Good, 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 good. And the trainer can drop the IB to signal the animal that he's deviated from success. Thus, if an animal fails to achieve success or stops progressing towards success, the IB tells him exactly where he lost the trail. The nuances we can apply to the IB give us rich rewards in training, at least 13 of them. Here they are. You can decrease latency. The IB speeds up an animal's response to a cue. When the cue is instantly followed with the IB feedback, hesitation diminishes and speed increases. Now, this is something we had to study because we had an outstanding trainer who had a guide dog mare. And our original instructions were to give a cue, and the instant the animal makes a move toward complying with the cue to start the intermediate bridge. But Deirdre Muccio was blind, as she reminded me with some angst at the certification camp she came to. So we said, go ahead and give Mare the cue. And Deirdre did. And Mare stood there with her eyes wide, kind of deer in the headlights look. And we said, start the IB, start the IB. Good, 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 good. We all helped her. Good, 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 good. And Mare just kind of went, huh, and flowed into execution. So now we say, cue, start the IB, and watch the success happen. So it's, for example, here, good, 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 good. Try it. So why do we decrease the latency? Well, I think it's because we remove uncertainty, as we saw in Mare's case. Uncertainty is very uncomfortable emotion, next to fear, I think. And that goes for anyone, human or animal. Continuous feedback relieves uncertainty and removes guessing. The IB confirms correctness. The animal knows moment to moment they're on the track to success. Number 3, that accelerates progress. Confident in their performance, the animals tend to progress speedily in trials, resulting in faster success. And when I say speedier trials, they literally will go faster. So the trials tend to progress faster. Now we can also support the instant of try, effort, and even innovation. So I lump those together. I guess we could say it's in 15 uses, but we'll just leave these lumped together right now. So learning new behaviors can be daunting, and especially if there's a history of confusion, frustration, or failure. But with the rich support of the IB, the animal's emboldened to try anew and even offer new solutions to challenges. Gosh, this is such an important aspect of SATs. We get buy-in. We explain to the animals what we're doing, the whole name and explain process. And when the animal understands that, they can see when we're hitting an obstacle. And if they see the solution, they can offer it. And with the IB, we can encourage them. Now, this happened with Spike, the crab, when he solved the problem of getting into his observation bowl by gently holding onto my thumb with his pincher and pulling himself directly into the bowl. You can see the original behavior at synalia.com/press. Scroll down for the video. I think I actually had the video of Spike pulling himself into the bowl with a pincher, but I haven't had a chance to search my video for it yet. So if you're looking for an internship opportunity, this could be one if you like to do video. Okay, number 5, increase duration. When people increase duration by just expecting the animal to stay longer, they're introducing a lot of uncertainty. We do it differently. We have a little formula, and the IB accelerates the progress and increases the animal's confidence. Similarly, we can intensify focus and effort. A running IB tends to reel the animal into the pursuit of progress. The animal tends to be riveted to the confirmation of the next IB. So imagine you're teaching a dog to track, and he's supposed to put his nose in each footfall. And the IB gives you a way to and if he starts to lag a little, you stop the IB. And as he's making good, smooth progress, you can emphasize it, add it. But you can drop it at any time, and we do so instantly. As a matter of fact, as the animal progresses, he gets so fast there isn't any time for an IB. So if you're seeing an animal that we've trained and you're not hearing any IB, it just means he's trained. The IB was there at a certain point in the learning. This leads us to number 7, the ability to anchor behavior. During distractions and transitions, the IB can anchor an animal to correct behavior, armoring them against distraction, environmental pressure, and the lure of dopamine. Okay, so if you have, let's take distractions. You're walking a dog along the street and another dog is approaching. And you know that your dog might feel some instability when they see the other dog. They might want to go see the other dog, or they might want to be a little defensive toward the other dog. And we can say, as we pass that other dog. And we start that while the animal is already in, great behavior. And then we intensify the IB as we intensify the distraction and the pressure from the other dog. Now, the time when the dogs are most likely to have a problem is right after the other dog passes. We think we even know why, but that's a subject for another time. So what we do is we extend the amplified bridge until the other dog's gotten past us a little bit. So it sounds kind of like a Doppler effect. Good, 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 good. Okay? So that's anchoring a behavior. Now we can do similar things for transitions. Transitions, you have little pieces of behavior, and we'll talk about this. And the IB can help the animal just make smooth, confident transitions. Now, self-correction. Because the feedback is continuous, the instant it stops, the animal can examine what changed at that instant and correct it. Learning is almost errorless, and the animal often self-corrects errors, as in they correct themselves before we even get a chance to give them feedback beyond stopping the bridge. Reduce trials, that's number 9. When the animal clearly understands the path to success, he can bypass mistakes, eliminating the wasted time and frustration of trial and error training, or even luring. When an animal's being lured, he's not focused on information. He's focused on attaining food. So I mentioned transitions a little earlier. Number 10 is smoothing transitions. In complex behaviors, we teach the behavior in small segments and then integrate them into a single sequence. This is often especially challenging, and not just for dogs. I used to be a dance major, and that is a very challenging thing in dance and also in music. So the IB supports success during transitions and complexity, and the animal's behavior tends to flow from one piece to the next. Number 11, we can intensify specific aspects of the behavior. So using modulation and precise timing, the trainer can amplify particular qualities in the animal's work, such as speed, nose in the footfall for tracking, drive and body position, and coordination. For example, with horses, you definitely want the horse to stay aligned directly over his joints and not to get his legs out from under himself, which is working towards an injury. And this is the case for dogs too, but it's not as extreme of a problem for a dog as it is for a horse. So as we see that animal setting up his movement, we go, good, 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 good. And then if he starts to move off of his axis over his joint, we can take the IB away. And then when he realigns himself, good, 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 good. And then after he's mastered perfection, we can use the same IB to get speed. We don't want to get speed until we get the details perfect. Number 12 is define limits. The IB can be used to mark the edges of a behavior, that invisible line that delineates success from failure, desired from undesirable, letting the animal know clearly where a requested behavior begins and ends. Let's say you want to teach your animal the perimeter of your property. You got to have a line. In one of my properties, the line was at the sidewalk because I didn't want the dog going onto the sidewalk where other people might be. So as we walked along the sidewalk, I showed the animal, this is in, this is out, and if you stand on the line, that is also equal to out. You have to be inside the line. And then I let the dog walk on a loose lead using the IB to give them feedback on whether they were in or out. So I would say, as we start the loose leash, walking, can you stay in? Good, 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 good. Now, I would then ask the dog, can you go out of the yard? And then he has to step onto the sidewalk. He has to know both situations before you can hold him responsible for either of them. Number 13, prevent deterioration. Behaviors can quietly lose their precision over time. An IB can be used to give the animal nuanced feedback on his behavior and gently lead him to enthusiasm and precision once again. It's fast, elegant, fun, easy. Just an easy way to inspire the animal to excellence rather than trying to, you know, draw him into it. Like, I don't want to lure an animal with food, and I don't want to pull an animal with a lead. I want to teach the animal what the situations are. While they're learning, yeah, you might end up. I was just in line for the vets again with my dog. She's getting another vaccine. And I had to remind her, your loose lead. Can you feel that tension on your leash? I wasn't pulling the leash. She was pulling the leash. She got distracted. There were all these other dogs, all kinds of things, people, smelly products, noises. No wonder she was distracted. But it's her job to study and learn to keep her focus on her behavior. Okay, so the summary: 13 uses from one simple continuous signal. That's only continuous as long as you want to use it. The instant the animal is fluent in its behavior, you can just drop it. You don't even have to fade it, you just drop it. And if the animal ever hesitates or you see a particularly gnarly distraction or challenge, you can bring it right in there. There's no cost. You can't forget it. You just start that bridge. I'll tell you one example. I was at the Houston Livestock Exposition, and one of the trainers was walking a potbelly pig around the pavilion, and for some reason they wanted to go look at the bulls. So, the pig had a harness and a lead, and he had been learning loose lead walking. If you haven't worked with a pig, I can tell you that a harness on a pig is kind of like a cigar band on a cigar. It's a suggestion. It's going to slide right off. And the trainer, when she got over by the bull, for some reason, the pig backed up under the bull where he might irritate the bull and cause his own injury or death or a problem for the bull or a problem for somebody else. And the trainer was really concerned and not quite sure what to do. And I said, don't pull, target. So, in other words, extend a target where the pig could see it. And IB. Good, 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 good. Now, in the use of the IB, one person cues the pig, that would be the trainer, but everybody can bridge. So here I am over 100 feet away. She cues the pig to target, and I'm over there, good, 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 good. And that pig didn't pull back. He didn't squeal, which is very much a possibility. He just smoothly changed directions and came immediately out from between the bull's feet. So the IB gives us a way to create a real conversation, rich in feedback and support between ourselves and our animals, and to be there when they need us. And it gives us all the chance, the animal and the trainer, the chance to enjoy success and excellent behavior. Okay, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And please leave me a comment. Do you already use an intermediate bridge? Have you thought about it and you're not using it? And if not, why not? Ooh, and check the notes because I'm putting in a video where you can listen to what various bridges sound like, and also one for the Cadence tool where you can practice your own bridge and record it as you go. And if you want, you can send it to me. So it's really a lot of fun. We've been all working on our own bridges. So check the notes. Let me know what you think. Take care.